I might have to. Hey, nicely done. I've got, what do I got? Sons of Anarchy and The Crow.
Nice.
Well done, sir. Well done. I might have to edit that just a little bit because there's a long dead space at the end of that video.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. So well done.
Yes.
Only 3 of those in the world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So hot item.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
I am kind of excited for this list because we were talking, it was a little tough. And
yes.
It went through one rewrite for me.
I went through... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it's only because I did it yesterday. And I didn't have enough time to sit back and rethink.
Well, like most of ours, I've kind of started either the minutes after the podcast finished, or I actually started because last week was the debate. The week before was it the baseball movies?
Yeah, with Chris.
Yeah, and you decided on the remakes. I'm like, I know what I'm gonna do, and then you threw the debate at me. So I had my initial list of remakes done before the debate, and then I kept doing rewrites because most of my list was populated by horror remakes. And then it's like, wait a minute, there's this whole other list of movies I love that are also remakes. So yeah, several revisions later.
Yes. And one of my honorable mentions I didn't realize was a remake. It almost made my list, but then I found another one and I had to add it.
I had one thing though. It was gonna be a question that I was gonna ask you in between last week and this week on that. There's certain movies that we love, and it turns out they're remakes. Do we have to have seen any previous version, or it's just this is a great movie that also happens to be a remake?
The way I did my list is a remake that was really well done that actually helped advance the franchise. That's the way I looked at it.
Okay.
Because there's some remakes that, we don't talk about.
There's also some movies and the originals I'd rather not talk about.
Exactly. So Jason is en route. And if I'm not mistaken, let's just check these things here. Hey, James Taylor and the guys.
Hey, Greg.
Hope you guys are great. James, if you put Karate Kid remake on this list, lost friendship.
I still haven't seen that.
No. Hey, Greg, are you the Greg that was watching Vicious Circle last night? Because I think I put a Greg Baca up asking Sid a question.
Well, he certainly would.
56 flips in my initial watch list. Full disclosure, I have not seen the original. We legit just said that, yeah. But I'm not judging remakes versus originals here, and nobody better mention Annie.
Well, I have not seen the remake of Annie, and Jason, combine all the rewrites I did, all the movies that were involved, and I had at least that many, yeah.
Here's Greg. Jason, I agree. Annie better not make that list.
No one's seen it. Jason hasn't even seen it.
I know, right? Ryan Haskell said, tough topic as remakes fail the original, especially lately. A lot do. But there are some hidden gems.
Yes.
And that's what we're all about tonight.
Yes.
I am the one that watched The Vicious Circle. I thought so. I recognize that name, Greg. Thanks for watching, And that's, I saw the name. It's like, I got to get him. I got to get his question to Sid because he follows the podcast. He follows the Madhouse. He's friend James. So I got Okay. Oh, what did he say here? Been watching the last few times. I love Sid. He fist bumped me in Cobo Hall and been a huge fan ever since. That's his thing. That's his thing, the fist bump. He even does that on Instagram and stuff. When people message him, he gives a little fist bump back.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Nice. There's
your trivia for today. Okay. So we'll get to the list. Normally, Jason goes first. And look at that, as if on cue.
Oh, wow.
Number 10, the Thomas Crown Affair. Really?
That was on one of my initial lists.
Was it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen that one.
Pierce Brosnan and Rene Russo, so good, so good. Rene Russo for her age looked absolutely amazing in that movie.
See, I remember the commercials, and I did want to see it, but I don't think I ever did.
And that was one where one of the stars of the original cameoed. Faye Dunaway cameoed as Pierce Brosnan's therapist in that movie.
A lot of them do that. Look at the Ghostbusters remake. Look at Cape Fear. Look at usually they try and get some of the originals in just to draw those nostalgia, you know?
Who'd they get in the Cape Fear remake to be?
Robert Mitchum.
Oh, was he in there?
Yep.
It's been so long since I watched that one.
Jason Bishard, good flick. Never saw the original.
It's a Steve McQueen movie.
That I remember.
That I know.
All right, James, what's your number 10?
My number 10. When are we doing honorable mentions? Between 2 and 1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just in case our honorable mentions are on other people's lists.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Because I could have done a whole bunch that might have populated yours and Jason's lists. I don't know.
Yep.
All right, my number 10 is a remake of the same name from 1976. This was an early John Carpenter movie. It is Assault from 2005, Assault on Precinct 13. This movie is badass. Ethan Hawke, Lawrence Fishburne, Maria Bello, Brian Dennehy, Hugh Dillon's in there at the beginning as one of the undercover cops. Oh man,
right.
This movie, 2005. Okay. This movie is pretty hardcore. That's Gabriel Byrne, Curry Graham, great Canadian actor.
I forgot all about that one.
I did until I think a few days ago. I'm sitting there and I look over at my shelf and it's right at eye level.
So you owned it and you forgot about it.
I did. I have so many movies. So
yep. My number 1 was the same way. I own it and I love it and I completely forgot about it until
my number one was added last night.
See? That's why I do it close to the day, so I can't keep changing.
Yeah. I finalized my list before I came here, and then I was almost thinking, and I looked at the list and I'm just like, no, it's solid.
Good man. My number 10. I like this remake. I like the original, but it was a campy horror movie, although it was trying to be serious for the time. But 1986, Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, because the original was Jack Nicholson back in 60s, 70s or something, way back then. Might be the 50s.
It's a remake that actually advanced the franchise, you know, because this has a cult following all of its own.
And that director's cut ending is off the wall.
Yes. And the music. I love the music. Steve Martin singing I'm Your Dentist. You know, nothing tops that to me.
Suddenly Seymour.
Yes. Feed me. Yeah, I could watch that over and over again. Okay. Jason, we need your number 9. So there's going to be a bit of a delay. So we'll go to James's number 9 and we'll come back to Jason.
Well, he perfectly timed it last time.
I know, right? And I was waiting, but it didn't pop up.
And now. No. Okay. Thought that might work.
No.
Okay. So my number 9 is a remake of the 1956 movie called Bob le Flambeur. And it is a movie from 2002. It's a Neil Jordan film starring Nick Nolte and with a cameo from Ray Fiennes. It is called The Good Thief.
Oh, I did not know that was a remake.
Yep. Apparently a remake. The movie is called Bob le Flambeur, and the original story was based on, oh God, what is it? It's a famous writer that it's also Jean-Pierre Melville wrote the original story, apparently. Who I'm not familiar with, but yeah. When I originally saw this one, I was working at Rogers, so I took the screener home several times, and the movie kept getting delayed, and it's like, I've got to buy this movie. And he's sort of a have you seen it?
No.
No, he's sort of he's a retired thief, kind of, and he's got a bit of a heroin problem, and he decides to pull off one big final job. So he has to get himself off heroin. He's also taking care of this chick this young lady he rescued from a pimp, and gets his motley crew together and takes down a casino in Monte Carlo.
See, it sounds like something I want to watch.
It is a really, really good movie. It's got two great songs on the soundtrack. That's Life, cover by Bono, and Leonard Cohen's Thousand Kisses Deep. And
anything Leonard Cohen, I'm in.
One of my favorite Neil Jordan films.
Next to Interview with the Vampire.
Interview with the Vampire.
Probably shouldn't open this can of worms, should we?
Well, I wasn't going to say The Crying Game.
Yeah, see?
He's got some good ones. He's also got some questionable ones, I suppose.
Everybody does. Look at David Fincher in Alien 3, right?
Oh, David Fincher would be the first one to agree with you.
Yep.
No one hates it more than he does.
And here is Jason. Scent of a Woman.
Oh.
The original, Perfumo di Donna, 1974.
I did not know that was a remake.
Pacino absolutely deserved all the awards for this role. Believably blind. He was, yeah. Surly a-hole veteran with his demons. And Chris O'Donnell was a great young foil to Pacino's a-holiness.
I will say he did a great job for someone not always. Sometimes they'll just have sunglasses on the entire time, and he's there wide-eyed, just like not seeing anything.
He made that believable.
Nice pick, Jason.
And I gotta admit, that's hard to do, to not look at things and make it look like you're not looking at things on purpose.
Yeah,
you know?
Jeff Daniels did a good job in The Lookout, where he's doing, I don't know if you can tell, but he's usually doing this thing where he's almost always looking up because his eyes can't focus on anything.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. But half the time he's also wearing shades.
That's the nice way to do it. My number 9. Everybody knows me, knows I'm a Western junkie. And this Western from 2007, introduced me to an actor I absolutely adore.
2007?
Yep. Everything I've seen him in is just been amazing. It's Ben Foster.
Oh, this was on my list up until yesterday.
3:10 to Yuma. Yes.
Excellent.
That whole cast just killed it, you know.
Russell Crowe, Alan Tudyk's in there.
Yep. Oh, what did
was there a comment coming up? Oh.
Pacino learned to not focus his eyesight during the filming for that. Well, yeah, that's got to be hard to do.
Yeah.
To just like not even focus.
Probably plenty of eye drops involved.
And it's hard. If something moves across your line of vision, you want to focus on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, 3:10 to Yuma. Great flick. That's all I can say. Ben Foster, like I said, he killed it. From that point on, I was a fan.
Excellent James Mangold film.
Yes, that's right. He did do that one.
Yeah. I've still got that poster on the wall, just the room outside my kitchen, where it's the pose from behind of Ben Foster, and he's got like one hand down and a gun up, and it says like "Time waits for no man." Awesome poster too.
That's on your wall?
Just outside my kitchen.
Oh, I might have to pop over for, or something. Totally unrelated to the poster.
Yes, of course.
Number 8, Jason says Gone in 60 Seconds. A mostly subdued Cage. He doesn't really go off the rails as he's known to do so. So much ridiculous fun in this. Great first impression from Vinnie Jones for me. And the film that made me fall in love with and put the Eleanor 67 Shelby Mustang at the tip top of my dream car list. Yeah.
He went off the Long Island Pier once. That was also on my list up until 2 days ago.
See? Do it the day before. You don't have these problems.
Excellent, Jason.
That's a really good choice.
This is just going to be chock full of awesome movies.
Yeah, but I'm noticing not a lot of overlap.
No.
James, number 8.
Number eight. This one was added yesterday also because I had forgotten about it as well. This is a remake of the original 1989 film LA Takedown, remade by the same director, 1995 Heat.
By the same director.
I think, isn't Michael Mann? Didn't he also do...
Isn't that just lazy?
Well, there was another movie. I was almost going to put Funny Games on here, where Michael Haneke did his original Funny Games, which is in like, I think it's in Danish or something, Danish film, I think. And he did his own American remake.
What was the original called?
It was called Funny Games. It was just a foreign film.
No. For Heat.
Oh, LA Takedown.
LA Takedown. Oh, it was a TV movie.
Yeah. But it's got same characters and stuff. Yeah.
So, okay, that makes a bit more sense because you did it for TV. Now we're doing it for the big screen.
Yeah.
We'll let that one slide, Michael. You get a pass.
Because the movie's just a masterpiece.
Oh, yeah. I think it's the first time Pacino and De Niro were together on screen, too.
The first time on screen together, yes.
Yeah. I remember watching Val Kilmer's in that one.
Tom Sizemore.
Oh, I thought we broke you there for a second.
Oh, I kept thinking Michael. No, it's Tom Sizemore.
Matt, I confuse those guys all the time.
John Voight's in there. Diane Venora. Very, very young, although I think it was post The Professional, Natalie Portman.
And Ashley Judd.
Yeah. Val Kilmer's wife in that movie. Hank Azaria.
Wes Studi. Dennis Haybert.
Hank Azaria.
Now, this is funny. I'm looking on IMDb and look at Natalie Portman.
What is that, under Val Kilmer or something? Or is that...
That's Val Kilmer, and it says Natalie Portman. That's hilarious. That movie's amazing. Always has been, always will be. So my number 8, I think this one retook the franchise and blew the doors open again because it spawned 2 sequels and it recently spawned a remake that didn't do so well. Critically, I guess. I enjoyed it. But 1999, The Mummy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser owned that film. You know, like that. He made that film.
That was such a great role for him.
Yep. And I only say that because they did, what was it? The Mummy 3 or something like that. He wasn't in it.
No, he was in all 3. Rachel Weisz wasn't in the 3rd one.
That's right.
The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, it's not bad. It's just, it didn't live up to the first 2.
It's Temple of Doom.
You could compare it to that, yeah. Especially when you get like a Yeti, somebody kicks it through what looks like an uprights and the Yeti does this.
Yep. Exactly. That's your crystal alien right there. That's
Oh, God. Oh.
Okay, number 7. Jason's on the ball now.
Oh, awesome timing. Oh, that was a few days ago. Ooh, I love that movie.
13 Ghosts. What's he say here? This flick is highly underrated as a breath of fresh air at a time when I feel the horror genre was a bit stale, and the coolest death effect ever when that guy gets cut in half sideways.
Oh yeah, J.R. Bourne, the lawyer. This Matthew Lillard steals this movie, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I'm getting my ass out of the big glass house.
Yes, he does. I think he was the reason I actually watched it originally because I just seen him in Scream.
Probably Scream and something else. He was awesome.
Something else. Oh, Scooby-Doo. That's what it was.
Oh, I haven't seen those.
Scooby-Doo is actually kind of fun.
He is well known for the Shaggy voice now.
Yeah, he was a little perturbed when they got someone else to do the voice for the new one.
I heard about that.
Yes. But
It was a pleasant surprise for me to see him pop up in the Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah, love Lillard and everything. Yes.
Yes.
He's got a wit, and that's what I like about him.
Yes.
All right, James, number 7.
Number 7. Number 7 is a remake of a movie from 1972. It's a Russian film. I'm frozen.
You're good.
I'm good? Okay. I don't see myself moving on camera.
It's overrated.
All right. Okay. It's a remake of a Russian film from 1972 called Solaris. This is 2002's Steven Soderbergh film Solaris.
Okay.
George Clooney, Jeremy Davies, Viola Davis, and Natasha McElhone. Yeah, this movie, written by James Cameron. This movie is awesome. I saw this one in the theater when it came out. Very, very not action packed. It's a very cerebral kind of sci-fi ghost story kind of movie.
I got to be honest, I did not know that was a remake.
Yeah, it came out, so 2002. I was working at Rogers, got this, saw it in the theater, but I also kept taking it home from Rogers. And then I found out it was a remake because I think IMDb was very in its early days. And we actually had the original Russian version at Rogers. So I took it home, tried to watch it, but I wasn't that much into subtitles at the time. And it's a movie from like 1972, so it looks its age.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I love the remake. I don't see you moving or me. I don't know if it's.
I'm moving. It might just be the lag. It's all good. Like you're coming through clear, and you're actually moving on my end. So.
Okay, well, as long as you guys can see, then.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's my number 7.
My number 7 is actually another De Niro one from 1991. And we mentioned it earlier, but it showed the nasty side of De Niro. And I'm a huge fan of Nick Nolte. So I went back and watched all sorts of stuff like Who'll Stop the Rain, anything I could find with Nick Nolte. So when Cape Fear came out, I had to go. And like I said, it introduced us to Juliette Lewis.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. And Robert Mitchum has a small role in there. Like he comes back in from the original. But I love the twist that they did, like they give it a bit more modern edge for 91. And I thought that was great.
Interesting. I only saw this the one time, I think. It was, I thought it was okay. I liked De Niro in it, but it didn't work for me at the time.
Give it a rewatch. Other than the score is good.
It's probably due. Yeah.
The score is good, but I find the score dated.
This was Scorsese, right?
Okay, what?
I
won't say De Palma, but I think you might be right. It's sad, I don't know.
I will say there's a scene. There's only a few scenes that stick out in my mind. One of them is sadly, when De Niro, I think he assaults Juliette Lewis. There's the scene where De Niro is going down with the ship, as so to speak. But there's the scene where he pulls up in the car and like Nick Nolte tries to buy him off, and De Niro basically breaks down how worthless that amount of money is to him right in his face.
Yes, that's one of the scenes I love.
That was an impressive scene.
And then after the guys beat him up, and he goes standing outside yelling at him,
come out.
Jason, number 6, Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, see, I can't even see that.
Yep, we've got our first duplicate, Little Shop of Horrors. Turning it into a musical made it so much fun, but keeps the dark comedy aspect pretty well. Fantastic casting all around, and shout out to Bill Murray's cameo. No, he's right. The cast on that, Rick Moranis, everybody.
All I had to do was tilt my phone. Okay.
See? Look at that. You're back.
So that's 2 for Little Shop of Horrors. Cool.
Yeah, but I got to be honest, I don't think we're going to have a lot of overlap.
No. I don't. Had mine been populated with more horror movies, maybe.
So, what is your number 6?
My number 6 is not likely on anybody else's list. My number 6 is a remake of the 1990 awful Luc Besson film La Femme Nikita. Mine is 1993's Point of No Return.
Yep, that's not on my list.
I am a huge fan of Point of No Return. I saw this with my dad and my younger brother in the theater when it came out. Gabriel Byrne, Bridget Fonda, Harvey Keitel. And Dermot Mulroney.
I watched that movie about 4 times. Not because of the story, though. Like, I love La Femme Nikita, and I felt it kind of tarnished the image of it a bit. But I had a huge thing for Bridget Fonda.
And I have the soundtrack of this at home. It's got some great Nina Simone songs, awesome score. And when I finally got around to watching La Femme Nikita, I'm just like, oh my God, Anne Perriot is so annoying in this movie. I don't like anything about La Femme Nikita.
I can't get more because then I'd be by myself.
I know I'm alone in this. But that's my number 6.
Still good. Mine is a recent one. Did someone knock at your door?
Not at my door, at her door.
Oh, okay. I thought we had the beginning of a horror movie. We're going to see you die on camera. This is awesome. You'll be getting stabbed. So, James, tilt the camera.
There's someone behind you.
Yeah. Mine is a very recent one, and I think this is like the 4th remake of it. And not only that it was a directorial debut, and the guy killed it. Bradley Cooper, A Star Is Born.
Oh, see, and this is one I forgot about.
Yep. He showed the world Lady Gaga's got acting chops, and the two of them together had such chemistry. And like I said, he is his debut. Like, this is the first time he directed. And this film has been made at least 3 times prior that I can remember.
I'm aware of at least 2 other times.
Oh, wait a minute. Ryan Haskell's got Three's Company remake, Come Knock on My Door. Is that a real thing?
Three's Company remake, Come Knock. I'm not aware of that.
Don't tease me, Ryan. I'm looking it up right now. What's it called? Come Knock on My Door.
That's the song from the theme song.
I'm not seeing it, Ryan.
maybe he just came up with it. That's probably a good title.
I don't see it, Ryan. Ryan, you're messing with me now, man. That's it. Jason Bayshard. I didn't care for the remake of La Femme Nikita. Loved the original.
Hated the original. I love the remake. Que sera.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, Star Is Born. I know that song got overplayed like insanity, but and it was interesting because before I saw the movie, I saw the Star Wars parody of Shallow.
That's so good.
I know, it's brilliant. But the first time watching A Star Is Born, when they started singing it, I couldn't hear the words. I was listening to Kylo and Rey in my head. That's what I was hearing.
I still have to watch the encore edition, the extended cut, but it can only make the movie better.
Of A Star Is Born?
Yeah, they put out the encore edition. It's extended cut of it.
I didn't know there was such an animal.
Yes.
Oh man, now I gotta find that.
Shouldn't be too hard. It's on Google Play.
Is it? Well, okay, maybe I'll rent it first.
Yeah, because I had the Blu-ray for the original, so I had my digital copy of that. And then I sold that to get the encore edition, which has the extended cut and the theatrical. So now I have on Google Play both versions.
Nice. Well, here we go. Jason's number 5 of Mice and Men.
I remember seeing that preview several times. I've never seen any version of the movie.
Really? Oh,
no.
Malkovich and Gary Sinise, yeah, they were both amazing in that film. That's a heartbreaking story too. So those guys.
I know we did show at the theater the National Theater live performance of the Mice and Men, but it was in Thor: The Dark World. I always forget his name. Chris O'Dowd.
Okay.
Chris O'Dowd. It was Chris O'Dowd and James Franco in those 2 roles. in the stage performance, but I didn't watch that either. I'm just thought that'd be interesting to say.
Oh, that would be good. That would be very good. All right, James, number 5.
Number 5, I'm gonna go with not with what you said, but the way you said it. My number 5 is a remake of several versions of this movie. So I won't pinpoint any one of the other ones. It's The Time Machine from 2002.
Oh yeah.
Guy Pearce, Sienna Guillory, Mark Addy, directed by Simon Wells, who is a descendant of H.G. Wells.
Isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
See, that's the guy you want directing that film.
Yeah. And he got helped out at the end. I think he suffered from exhaustion. He got helped out at the end with directing duties by Gore Verbinski. I love this movie. It is so good. Oh, and Jeremy Irons in there too.
Was he?
He's the head. He's the head of the Morlocks at the end. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, this movie is fantastic.
Nice. Now, my number 5. This is where I had a film, and then I remembered something suddenly was a remake, and man, did it revitalize the franchise. It was It from 2017. I mean,
I was very tempted to
add it.
It's just that I like It Chapter 2 way better than Chapter 1, unless I included them both.
That's what I kind of did. It is one solid, like both movies, boom, as a remake of the original television miniseries.
Yeah. Excellent choice.
It did kind of blow the franchise open again, because everybody loved It from TV, except me, apparently.
What?
See, and this is it. I loved it when I watched it. Holy crap. Yeah. How many times am I going to say it? But it was good. Right. Then I read the book and I realized how much that ending actually sucked compared to the book. So
it's a weird ending.
Jaded. Yeah, it jaded it for me. I still like watching it. I just didn't have that same awe I did when I first watched it, not knowing the source material.
I get so much nostalgia from watching
that. I want to get that, and I want to get The Stand. Those are the 2 TV miniseries.
Oh, another Gary Sinise performance.
Exactly. Wicked.
Gary Sinise and Molly Ringwald.
And everybody else. There's so many people in that cast. Shawnee
it's
in there.
It's huge. Did you see the trailer for the remake coming out?
No, not yet.
It looks okay. They got Whoopi Goldberg in the I don't remember her name, the old black woman role.
Yeah, that sits in the chair and calls everybody to her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name. Son of a gun. Oh, well, let's go to number 4. This one almost made my list. The Longest Yard.
That was a funny movie.
So much silly fun. Sandler plays more so to the straight man to the rest of the cast zany characters, and Kevin Nash steals the show.
I disagree. I think what's his name? Oh God. What's his name? No. Big black guy. He's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I've never watched that show.
Terry Crews. Cheeseburger Eddie.
That's right. Put a cheeseburger on it. That's right.
That's my favorite character in the movies, Cheeseburger Eddie.
I forgot about him. I love Tracy Morgan. Anybody that can pull off a cheerleader, yeah. He's got it. And he's got what's his name? Rob Schneider. He's got his little cameo in there that I quote all the time, you can do it. That's where I get the quote from, is that film. But yeah, it is weird seeing Sandler as almost a straight man.
I always find him best when he's not putting on a weird voice.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true. Okay, James, number 4.
Had I thought about it before now, because I didn't think about it until now, there's a soccer movie called Mean Machine, which is a UK remake of Longest Yard. It takes place in prison, and it's about a soccer team. And that's got Jason Statham, Vinnie Jones. It's like the Lock, Stock crew in there.
I've heard of it. I've never seen that.
It's pretty funny. Anyway, so mine. You said it was my turn?
Yes, number 4.
My number 4 is a remake of the same name from 1969. This is the Coens version of True Grit from 2010.
I wanted to put that on my list. Unfortunately, it didn't make the extenuate the franchise as much as these other ones.
Well, I thought, like I remember seeing True Grit when I was a kid, and I thought it was pretty good. And this one, I just thought, I mean, I find the Coens to be very hit and miss, and this was definitely one of their hits. I just find everyone really upped their game for every role in this movie. Like Josh Brolin, who had to get outside help. The Coens would not audition him. He got like help from like Robert Rodriguez and other people just to get him on film so they could see him. And that led to No Country for Old Men, of course.
Yeah.
But I thought sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I love the film. True Grit.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm a Western junkie. I love it. I just think when it came to the franchise, it went, ooh, you know, because it was a Western and Westerns weren't huge. So it was very hard to get it excited again.
Well, I just thought that, like, what do you remember about the original? You remember John Wayne and the actress who played the girl.
Yep.
The remake, you remember Josh Brolin, you remember Matt Damon, you remember Jeff Bridges, and
everybody.
Haley Steinfeld, especially Barry Pepper, who it had been so long since I'd seen the original. I'm watching the remake and like Barry Pepper is putting on a voice. He sounds a lot like a young Robert Duvall. And so I go back and look at the credits. It's been so long since I'd seen it. I go back and look, who's playing Lucky Ned Pepper in the original? A young Robert Duvall. It's like, okay.
Barry is good that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Jason Pemden, Schneider's You Can Do It originated in it did. It's right. In The Waterboy. But he's redone it in other Sandler flicks. That's right.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Anger Management and Driven into the Ground.
Yeah. But I still like it. Okay. My number 4 is a remake. I wish I could remember the year. I think it's 63 or 64 of a 23-minute short of Pictures.
I know what this is.
Yes. There's only one piece of film in there where the eyes move. That's it. Everything else is a photograph. It's called Legit, and it gave us 12 Monkeys.
Yeah, my buddy Bevan, he saw this in university because he actually took a film class.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so he has seen Legit or whatever.
Yeah, Legit. I love 12 Monkeys. Brad Pitt is amazing in this film, you know?
Yeah.
But
yeah, he is.
Madeline Stowe, like so many people in this and everything in the future. I just love that the way they set that up. So,
and it's another one of those great time travel movies where they don't have to show time travel.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like technically they didn't have to show it in Terminator, but they did.
Yeah. But you save a whole lot of money and a lot on special effects.
Exactly.
Bruce Willis standing in some shallow water. Camera pans away, pans back, he's gone.
Mm-hmm. Let me see now. We go on to number 3, and Jason's got his pick in. Beauty and the Beast, 2017.
Nice.
Captures all the magic of the animated original and elevates it with great performances and stunning visuals. In my opinion, the best Disney live action adaptation, hand down. And it's got Emma Watson.
Hang on, is he I was going to say, because I recently watched a French version of this.
Oh yeah,
that came out. Yeah, it's done by Christophe Gans, who did Brotherhood of the Wolf.
Okay.
he did his own Brotherhood. He did his own version of Beauty and the Beast a few years ago. This was between Brotherhood of the Wolf and Silent Hill. It came out in 2014, and it had Vincent Cassel and Léa Seydoux in it. And it's actually a very different take on the Beauty and the Beast mythology, whereas the live action is very much a live version of the cartoon.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever heard of that, let alone watched it.
I only knew about it because I kept following, like, what was Christoph Gans going to do next? What is he going to do next after Silent Hill? And it turned out to be this, which I only found it at, I think I found it at Giant Tiger or something.
Well, but I have to agree with Jason. This remake is one of the ones I really enjoy watching. You know,
I agree.
Action. You know,
I agree. It is pretty impressive.
Let me see. Number 3 for you.
Number three for me is another remake of the same name, except the original had the in front of it, from 2009. It's a remake of, I think it's a Spanish or German or something. The original is called The Secret in Their Eyes. The remake is from 2015 called Secret in Their Eyes. It's got Chiwetel Ejiofor, Julia Roberts. And it's basically about a government agent's daughter gets killed, and they basically never really catch the guy, and it flashes back between present day and 12 years ago, and where the government workers are now as opposed to where they were then. Secret in Their Eyes. Chiwetel Ejiofor, Nicole Kidman, Julia Roberts, Alfred Molina. Yeah, it's a movie by Billy Ray. It is mind-blowing how good this movie is.
I'm going to have to watch that one. Because, yeah, I've never heard of that one.
I don't think it was a wide release. I was always curious about it just because of the cast alone. And so I checked it out, and it's so much better than I could have imagined.
Well, you've made me add it to my list now, so. Okay. My number 2 or 3. Sorry, we're at number 3.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Jason said, I think I've heard of that French flick. Sounds interesting. I haven't even heard of it. Yeah, I'm in a bubble over here. Okay. My number 3, 2004 movie that introduced me to one of my favorite directors. And I not only did this elevate the franchise, I think it blew the doors open on a whole new movement for the genre. And it was called Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh.
Zack Snyder. That was the first time I got to watch him direct, and I love what he did with the remake, the fast zombies. I thought at first I hated him.
Yeah.
They really grew on me, you know. And that one I rewatch over and over and over again. And I think that movie actually blew the doors open again. So they started coming out with things like Zombieland, and, you know, it kind of revitalized the zombie franchise. Yeah.
One of the more stunning directorial debuts, and was on my very first draft of this list.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So now we're on to number 2. And we've come across our second duplication.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. Jason says The Thing, 1982. A classic that still holds up today. Quintessential Russell.
Does that mean that's your number 1?
That's my number 1. The chest
scene
is still terrifying.
Oh, his hand goes through and the teeth close. Ooh.
Yep. And my favorite, with the head coming off.
The spider head?
Stretches and drops down on the ground. Oh, yeah. That movie holds up so well. Yeah,
it does. Those practical effects. Well, not necessarily practical, but the creature effects. Rob Bottin is very talented.
They were all practical effects. Like everything in that movie was real.
Oh yeah.
You know? there wasn't one bit of CGI. In 82, no, not such a thing.
Maybe a little CGI to remove somebody's breath.
I wonder if they did that. Maybe. James, number 2 for you.
My number 2 is a remake of a French film from 1996 called L'Appartement, and it is the 2004 movie Wicker Park. Josh Hartnett. Let me see. Josh Hartnett. Yeah. I knew this was because I liked the movie so much, I looked into it ad nauseum. So yeah, another one with Matthew Lillard, Rose Byrne's in it, Diane Kruger, Josh Hartnett. It's a Jessica Paré. It's a Paul McGuigan film.
And see, I've not heard of that one either.
That either version?
No.
I knew about it because I thought the preview looked interesting, and it came to the theater in St. Thomas in 2004, and I saw it on and it was just amazing. And it's it's the movie that got me into Coldplay.
Oh, well, we apologize for
that. They just have a great song, The Scientist, that plays at the end.
Gotcha. All right. My number 2, Canadian movie with some amazing American actors that it took a 50s science fiction horror and turned it into one of the best body horror films ever.
Oh, I want to say I should know what this is.
I'm trying to hold off on the answer just to see if you can guess.
Canadian movie, American actors, body horror.
It's 1986. And again, just like The Thing, 82, the effects still hold up today. About a man who is working on teleportation.
Oh, I was going to say, is it a Cronenberg film?
It is a Cronenberg film. 1986, The Fly. Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis.
I can't believe that's 1986.
I know, right? I don't.
But then again, I also can't believe The Thing is that old too.
1982, yeah. But man, The Fly, that was one of the first horrors I think I ever got to actually sit and watch. You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was a couple years before I watched another one. The Fly was good. All right, here's Jason's honorable mentions. Amityville Horror, great drama piece from Ryan Reynolds. Cheaper by the Dozen, Dawn of the Dead, Death Race 2000, Death Race, Halloween, The Italian Halloween.
The Rob Zombie.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is a remake. The Italian Job, True Lies. Yeah, I just found out that was a remake.
Yeah, same here.
The Jackal and Day of the Jackal. Le Totel. I don't know that one. But
apparently, it's the
action list. What's yours, James?
Yeah, Amityville Horror was on there. Friday the 13th remake that very nearly got cut last night. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That and Friday the 13th are two of the best horror remakes in existence, if you ask me.
Derek Mears would love you because a lot of people pan his.
That movie is, and it's got one of the best openings for a horror movie ever as well.
It does.
Like it really like 20 minutes, and then the title just slams onto the screen there. Amityville, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah, Death Race was one of them. Dawn of the Dead. And there was a few that I cut just last night. I can't remember what they were.
They couldn't have been that good then.
But the ones that very nearly made the list was Texas Chainsaw and Friday the 13th.
Gotcha. I only have one real honorable mention because it was the only one that actually got pulled, and that was The Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz?
Yes. Prior to The Wizard of Oz, there was an animated movie, and there was another company that did a version of The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
Yeah, I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
I had to have it on there because I love that movie. But then I found it.
Fair enough.
Oh, off it came. Okay, now number one here is Jason's Ocean's 11. One of the best movies ever. Amazing cast across the board. The sequels, 12 and 13, continue the trend perfectly. What about 8? I rewatch all 3 a couple times a year.
Nice.
8's like a prequel, right?
No, 8.
No?
Eight's not a bad movie. I finally watched it. It's not a bad movie. My favorite of those is my favorite of those is 12, but I love all 3 of them. Yeah.
They are good. Good choice, Jason. Very good choice. All right, James, what do you got?
My number one is a remake of another remake of a movie that's been made several times in the past. It's the 1998 version of Great Expectations. One by Alfonso Cuarón, still by far his best movie, in my opinion, with Ethan Hawke and Gwyneth Paltrow and Bancroft.
That's right. I do remember that one.
Chris Cooper and Kim Dickens. It's a magical movie. I love it every time I watch it. I got to see this in the theater when it came out in college.
Oh, really? Yeah, see, I didn't see it in the theater.
So good.
That is a good choice. I forgot all about that one.
I forgot about it until last night, and then it became my number one.
It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
And remake films. I am now posting the list onto our Facebook page. And there it is. Because my number one, we already know. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't have guessed it unless you said it's our first duplicate. I'm like, well, we haven't talked about any other ones yet.
Yep. Yeah, but it was, and I got to talk about it. I'm happy. But Jason, we don't talk about 8.
What, Ocean's 8?
Ocean's 8. And then Greg says, "Woohoo! Great Expectations. You don't disappoint, James."
Yeah, Greg. Yeah, I remember taping songs. He had the soundtrack for it.
Oh, did he?
I taped songs off of him because it's got a great song by Chris Cornell, Pulp. Yeah. Amazing soundtrack.
We can talk about Great Expectations. We can't talk about 8 like Fight Club. That was good. Awesome. So there we go. Top 10 remakes. And that was not easy. That wasn't,
No.
There was more diversity there than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
And it was actually interesting. Jason and I were the only one to duplicate on 2 of them.
Yeah. I like I said, I almost had horror movies on there, and yeah. But I don't think mine would have been on, like Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw weren't on either of your lists either.
No, because I liked it, but it didn't further the franchise, because it was so panned. They didn't end up continuing it on, I liked it though. I really did.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Greg. And they keep
go ahead.
The top 10 baseball. Oh, okay. Yeah, and they keep going back and forth on what they want to do with the Texas Chainsaw franchise. Like they had 3 movies. Then they go to Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning, with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, that no one likes to talk about because it's awful. Mm-hmm. And then they come out with Marcus Nispel Michael Bay produces an awesome remake, and then they do a prequel to that, which is almost as good. Then they go back and do Texas Chainsaw, which is a direct follow-up to the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is also awful.
So you need a map to follow it.
then they do Leatherface, which not because it's not because the sequel to Texas Chainsaw was what, Leatherface Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, I think. They have one called Leatherface, which was an origin story for the character of Leatherface. And now they're doing another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I think is another direct follow-up to the original to replace the other one that was in 3. Yeah, roadmap that goes like this.
They're filling in the holes. Yeah, Greg did say, I really enjoy the top 10 podcast. Baseball was amazing. I really liked that episode. It was
fun.
It was fun having this on here, but it was fun with that topic because I had forgotten about so many baseball movies that I'd seen. Yeah.
I was just talking about one last night with my boss for Love of the Game, which was on my list, the Sam Raimi one.
Yep.
He mentioned it. I'm like, yeah, I love that. He's like, right.
So you're the two.
Apparently.
And Jason has figured out why our lists were comparable and yours weren't. That's because Rob and I watch good movies. Well said, Jason.
That must be it.
Jason and I just can't agree on Annie. You know,
I should have watched it just for this list.
Yeah, that would have been fun. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that does it for us here. Until next week. This is Rob.
This is James.
And we will see y'all later.
Tools.
Out,